G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is the Colt Delta Elite Pistol. Yep, it's another 1911 weapon mod. This one uses the deliberate animations, fires 10mm pistol rounds, and has some fairly decent customization to it, including semi-auto and auto fire options, which is good. Now, the thing about 1911s in real life is they're actually immensely superior to any Glock. So if you actually have a Glock in your house for home protection, or whether you're a gun enthusiast in real life, I suggest putting that piece of shit in the trash and getting yourself a real man's gun. The 1911, best classic American engineering and a handgun you could possibly get. Okay, now that I've rustled all of the Glock fanboys in my subscriber base, let's get this thing all up and ready to go, and we'll chuck on the advanced receiver there for the best damage and a semi-auto receiver, and that's giving us a disgusting 262 damage right off the bat there, which is friggin' crazy. This thing is going to hit like a truck, firing the 10mm rounds. Not sure how it does it, but sure, we'll move on from this. Now for the barrels, they don't actually change this thing aesthetically, they just change the stats. We'll chuck on the best ones with the best stats, and we'll move on from that. We'll chuck on a sharpshooter's grip for better recoil control, as well as hipfire accuracy, and a big old mag in there so there's more shooty before the reloady. Now, we can chuck on some excellent sights. So we've got standard and glowies, we've got some little reflex sights there, which actually look kind of cool. I like that. Also, you get the tiniest little recon scope I've ever seen, which is absolutely adorable, but doesn't really fit the style of this weapon. It looked better on a pipe rifle, to be honest. So what I want to do here is chuck on some basic glow sights for this, and we'll move on. Now, for the muzzle, you get a compensator or a muzzle brake, which basically do the same sorts of things a little bit differently. This one looks like it's a little bit worse. I'd always go for the ones that gives you better range, but the recoil is something that is easily controlled anyway. What I really want to do here is chuck on a good suppressor. So you've got two variants of suppressors you can put on. That's all personal preference. They do the exact same thing. Let's chuck on that one. That's more of a conventional suppressor there. That brings us to 328 damage, which is absolutely disgustingly powerful. This thing is going to tear through everything. You can chuck on a laser sight if you want. We're going to chuck on that laser sight because we want. And we can change the thing to a 45 caliber, which makes more sense being a 1911 weapon. Although having this does penalize you in damage a little bit. 10mm rounds are a lot easier to find, so you could probably use this thing for a little bit longer. Not to mention how cheap they are. They're a dime a dozen. Anyways, you can chuck on a legendary effect if you want. That is about it. Let's get to shooting people. We'll definitely grab an automatic one to see what that's all about. And I'll see you in Gunners Plaza. Righto, so here we are in Gunners Plaza, and here is our 1911 in first person. Looks pretty good. We've already seen these animations before, so yeah, we'll see them as we go along. That's what we look like in third person. The handgun seems to be of appropriate size, so that's pretty good. And here's what a couple of other variants look like. Whoops, that's my console commands button. Okay, let's get on to killing some gunners. We'll play this stealthy because we've got more scripted spawns happening in here once again. So we'll see how well we can do with this. Yep, 3 shots, 3 kills there. As expected, this thing hits like a truck. It's almost too good, to be honest. It's like a Mary Sue of a weapon. It's super clean, it's super effective, it's super silent, it's really everything you'd want. Completely unbalanced, but you know what? 1911. I sort of bashed them as a joke just to get a reaction out of people because I guess I'm a natural shit stirrer. And yeah, I got a bunch of dislikes on that Glock video because I told everyone that the Glocks were inferior to 1911. So yeah, I was kind of making fun of all of the weapons people on Facebook because I saw a thread where there's a page run on Facebook called Weapon Malfunctions that make you go, what the heck? That was actually what it's called. And it just had some guy messaging them talking about why they don't show any Glock malfunctions, and even though the dude went on to explain how we're actually in danger now, time to bring out a unsuppressed weapon. This one's got the Deadeye legendary effect because I feel like it. Also, it retains its regular looks as a 1911, so yeah, I'm using the Deadeye effect as sort of a... Ooh, we're being flanked here. Who's that? Just a gunner captain. Well, you can die. But as I was saying, yeah, people seem to get really mad if you talk shit about their favorite handguns, and I guess that's just an American gun culture thing, and yeah, I like to poke fun at that. It seems to trigger a few people, which is always fun, but yeah. That is probably like the worst thing as a Fallout Guns channel I can do, because half of my viewership comes from America, and if I'm sitting here just laughing at your asses for being this into guns, then I really got to take a look at myself for this. So what we're going to do here is we're going to chain some critical strikes, which got there eventually. I thought the bullet would have missed, but no, you don't miss with critical strikes in Fallout 4, ever. Okay, a nice 800 damage on that particular gunner. One more crit and the rest will be automatic. So, apart from my hypocrisy and otherwise unrelated commentary, as you can tell, I don't think I need to comment about how this weapon is performing. Also, that was a collateral shot. That was cool. Awesome. Also, Captain Bridget has shown up. Where is she? There she is. You've got a nasty pistol on you, but you're not the only one with a super overpowered pistol. Granted, my one doesn't have the damage over time. Haha, disarmed. Cop that, mate. And I'm just gonna continually crit you until you are dead. Oh, 4 criticals. You're gonna drain my entire critical bar from this. I really hope nobody else picks up that particular pistol, because otherwise I'm pretty much screwed. Let's move on to the automatic version, and I did deliberately pick up or create a couple of unsuppressed versions just so you could hear what this thing sounds like. Hopefully the audio is leveled right today. Got a complaint on my Gatling laser video, or the irradiated Gatling laser gamma gun thing. Oh, he's got Captain Bridget's gun. Don't shoot me, you bastard. Give me that. Okay, good. Hitting these guys for 100 on the dot, which is kind of satisfying to do, because 100 that could probably do a little bit better with a suppressed variant thanks to Ace Operator. Almost into nerd rage now. We'll bring out our suppressed one just for a little bit more of a hit. Actually no. We'd be doing a little bit better without a suppressor at that point, because the range, we're being cucked by the range of the weapon, which I guess is its only weakness, so it's not a totally Mary Sue of a weapon, is it? Or Gary Stu. Let's not assume any genders of our weapons over here. That would be bad. Don't want to trigger those people. I can't trigger too many demographics of people in one video, or I'll be doxed and found on YouTube and then lynched, and then Jake Paul will come and discover my body and film it, and then make a cheap quip about how suicide is bad. And okay, that's already been talked about too, buggery. So we won't go down that rabbit hole of thinking too much. I've sort of noticed something about my content though. It's more of shit posting, shoot people and make quips, than rather actual interesting information about. Oh, you've got one too, do ya? No, you don't. You just had a Beretta pistol on ya, which is not as good as our glorious 1911 for days. But yeah, maybe that's just the fact that I've already talked about everything that Fallout mechanics have to offer at this point, and I'd just be repeating myself. So return subscribers that would come see more of one of my videos in their lifetime will just hear me say all the same shit all the time, and that's why I usually just go off on the tangent and try to talk about different things, because the gameplay itself is pretty damn repetitive. But the reason of that obviously is to make sure you get a good idea of how the weapons perform in comparison to each other. So there you go. But yeah, newcomers will find my shitpostiness of commentary and just think, what the fuck is this? Let's not ever watch this guy again. But oh well, at least I've got Goth Nora's in this game. That's also obviously a huge improvement on the standard Nora, although that lighting is pretty horrible in her face, isn't it? Makes it look like some sort of zombie. Oh, happy Halloween. It's October, almost time for Fallout 76. Are you excited? I'm excited. Righto, let's sneak attack crit Swan to death as usual, and we'll talk about what I'm planning to do in terms of my computer. So I want to upgrade this thing. Right now, what I actually have is an MSI gaming laptop. Yeah, a gaming laptop, right? How terrible. But basically, it's, what's it called? I've got it written down on the thing. It's a 626QD Apache Pro, so it's basically high mid-tier range. It's only got a GTX 960M in it, and yeah, I kind of need to upgrade on that. what I'm planning to get is an MSI Raider, because yeah, those things have got GTX 1070s in them. Also, nice headstands one. And yeah, that'll be a huge upgrade, because what I learned about the GTX 960 is that it's not actually that great. I mean, it would be good if it was like, I don't know, 2-3 years ago, but it's really falling behind when it comes to computing power, isn't it, Swan? See, he's nodding in agreement. So yeah, hopefully I can pick up one of those for cheap, even though even the Raiders today are falling behind the Titans, which are the big old laptops that MSI are creating now, but we'll see how that goes. Maybe I can get it cheap when the new graphics cards come out. They're coming out soon, right? They're like Apple, they release them every year or so. I know PC Case Gear, which is where you can get all of the best computer stuff from, sells them for about $3,000, which is pretty decent. If I went to an actual retailer in my town, yeah, it costs like a couple of hundred more, so it's good to save a couple of hundred on that if I want. Anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to achieve sneak attack crits against the Wendigo over here. If I can do this in Fallout 76, obviously VATS won't be like this, but how crazy would that be? I could just cheese sneak attack crits from anywhere. I think that is my first build that I actually want to try out, just a stealth sniper build. Okay, he's actually invited the posse of random feral ghouls to kick my ass today, but they'll fall just like the Wendigo itself. They won't last very long. Okay, I think I've heard some commotion over here. Looks like gunners are attacking this goddamn settlement again. So these turrets will do okay, but honestly, turret guns are pretty terrible. Oh, these are brigadiers. These guys don't mess around. I've actually found that the sounds on this weapon, in terms of how they are, actually are the same in automatic as they are. Oh, we'll get some bat shots on you while you're decloaked. Oh, that one's got a poison or something. How powerful the crit's unsuppressed? That's pretty damn good. That's like maybe, I don't know, 3/4 of his health? No, 1/4, something. Like a third of his health down, which is pretty good. Okay, let's get some more gun fu action happening here. Wait, can we even target those turrets? Yes, we can. We can totally target those turrets. We can just grind up, what's it called? Gun fu on that. Okay, that didn't go desperately well, but we seem to thin out the HP bar quite a bit there. If you think of all the gunners as one separate HP bar, we actually did quite a lot of damage to it, even though none of the individuals were severely wounded. Ooh, that got an explosive harpoon gun. Is it the one with the flechette? No, it's not. Let me tell you, that flechette explosive harpoon gun is really, really powerful. That was one of the best heavy weapons coming out of Far Harbor, I think. Okay, we'll switch back over to our Dead-Eye regular ass looking 1911. Stop you moving around and dancing just by shooting you in the head in slow motion. Fear my cheats. I'm gonna miss having the Dead-Eye effect. Something like that would be good in Fallout 76, I reckon. Hell, it's good in Fallout 4. Why wouldn't it be good in Fallout 76? It'd be broken, that's for sure. Also, what did you have? You had one of those too, didn't you? Nope, you had something different. You picked the wrong neighborhood, crab man. Okay, that was nuts. I'm glad all of you survived today and didn't get killed by random friendly fire. Anyways, I think you get the point of this weapon. This thing is very, very powerful. Probably too powerful, a little bit of unbalance there. But if you want something to breeze through the game easily, then I suppose this one is for you. And if you're a fan of 1911s in general, and really who isn't, it's a nice weapon. Nice, iconic weapon from all the way back when the Great War was on, which is crazy to think they're still around and still produced. Whoever created them really was ahead of his time when it came to this, even though today I do think that the 1911 is gradually being phased out. I don't think it's been in the military in America for years at this point, but still, it's a classic of a weapon, and you can have it in Fallout 4 should you decide to download this mod. Check out the description. This one is actually the Reanimated variant, but I believe the standard variant might be on Xbox One. We'll see if that happens. If it is, links in the description. Thank you for watching, guys.